Hi, my name is Emer and I'm striving for self-sufficiency and also better preparedness. I know there are loads of prepper channels on YouTube, but I don't find many of them focusing on health and fitness. And I certainly don't think that health and fitness is discussed enough in the prepper community. This should be our absolute #1 prep. Many of us are prepping our pantries, our water supplies, but are we prepping our bodies? So as preppers, when we think about the sorts of scenarios that we're preparing for, having a healthy, strong body is going to be so important. When we think of doing more manual tasks, if it can carry us, if we can walk on foot, if we can cycle, or even if it's just digging our gardens, carrying soil or tools from one end of the garden to the other, maybe we're chopping wood. Having that strength and stamina is so important. I know I shouldn't have to say it, but I just want to spell out that good health and fit, strong, healthy bodies should be our #1 prep, along with food, shelter and water. If you're new to my channel, you might not be aware that I am a bikini competitor in a bodybuilding context, and I've been doing this for the last 4 years. And whilst the competition side isn't the healthiest, in general the lifestyle is. I can only speak for myself, so I go to the gym 5 to 6 days a week. I have certain boxes to tick, so I need to walk 10,000 steps a day. It can be more in competition prep. I am on a set sort of eating schedule. There's a certain amount of calories and macros, like fats, carbs and protein that I need to eat. So I'm on quite a high protein diet. It's all quite controlled. It's all very consistent, and that consistency really is key, and that's where I've personally seen results over the last 4 years. So in this video, I really just want to make it a bit of a discussion point and just highlight health and fitness in a prepping context. Just throw out some suggestions, what's worked for me, just provide some encouragement. If health and fitness isn't at the top of your agenda, here's just some suggestions and some of my experience, which hopefully might change your mind. It's not too late. I've mentioned in a previous video that I was rubbish at PE at school. I hated sports. I was quite unfit and didn't get into running until my mid-20s, and then got into strength training in my early 30s. So it is not too late. It's never too late to make positive changes. So just to be aware, I've got no qualifications or certificates or anything. It's just my personal experience, what I've learned over the years, and what's worked for me might not work for everyone. We're all different shapes, sizes, ages, abilities, all got different circumstances. So as I usually say in my videos, do what is best for you, do what suits your circumstances. Please use your common sense and seek medical or professional advice if you need to, because we're all different, and I don't want anyone to get injured or hurt themselves in any way. So with fitness, I personally love having a goal. I'm quite a goal-focused person, otherwise I probably wouldn't do anything. Depending on what your goal is, maybe it's weight loss, maybe you want to do a fun run or bike ride or something. It's just making those goals achievable so you don't get totally disheartened right at the start. So when I'm not leaning down for a competition, my coach gives me strength goals. So as an example, when I was trying to build legs, she gave me the goal of leg pressing 200 kg within like a period of 6 months. And at the time it felt impossible because I was just about achieving 150 kg, but it was sort of thinking, right, okay, well, let's break this down. Let's add 10 kg every month. So I had like a little mini goal every month to make that bigger goal, if that makes sense. And it worked. You know, maybe the form wasn't brilliant towards the end and there wasn't many reps, but I still achieved that, and it's nice having that sense of achievement. And then similar for like upper body, when I first started, like 10 kg dumbbell press was a really big deal for me. Now, years on, I'm now working on 12.5, and you'll see in the video, if I can't do a full set, then I'll just drop the weight and I'll do what I can. So it's just pushing yourself a little bit to to get stronger or to get fitter, whatever your goal might be. So pick a goal, work towards it, make a plan, make it realistic as well. Break the goal down if you need to. And I suggest taking photos or making a note. So you might make a note of what that first run felt like when you've got a tomato face at the end and you feel like dying, and just make a note of, well, what distance did you do, or how long did you run for? Was it running and walking? Were you doing couch to 5K? What however you felt, just make a little note on your phone or on a piece of paper and come back to it in a few months' time, because if you're consistently working towards that goal, you'll notice changes, you'll surprise yourself getting fitter and stronger, or faster, depending on what you're doing. And it is really nice to look back on. I have a coach, so I check in with her and I take photographs. I weigh in and I take photographs every weekend, but it is nice looking back on those original check-in photos where, yeah, I was like quite underweight and like not as strong as I am now, but it's a nice reference point. So, and even like on my phone, I sort of write down my PBs. Actually, sorry, I've got a spreadsheet where I have my strength goals with my coach, and when I look back on previous ones, and it's like, what used to be a big deal at the time is now like, that's my warm-up. So it's nice to look back on things. So food-wise, I've already mentioned that I'm on a high-protein diet. My coach tells me how many calories to eat and nutritional value of how many grams of protein, carbs and fats to track as well. I use the MyFitnessPal app. It might not always be super accurate, but it's a really useful guide. And I think when I first started using it with my coach, it was interesting. Like, I really wasn't eating enough before, which is why I was underweight. So I know for some people, maybe you're trying to lose weight, but others, maybe you just need to gain. It just depends. Like I said, we're all different. We're all at different shapes and sizes. And I do think about, food is fuel. So it's sort of questioning, like, are you eating enough to give you energy throughout the day? Or are you eating more? Are you consuming more energy than you actually need if you're sat at a desk all day, for example? Are you using it to your advantage? Are you eating the right kinds of fuel that are going to, is it like slow burning energy, or is it like junk that's going to make you feel rubbish? It's questioning what's best for you. And obviously treats are fine. Like I'm still allowed a treat every weekend. And I do, honestly, like I went well overboard last weekend with junk food and rubbish, but it's better when I can be controlled and keep it to just like one treat meal. So one thing I would mention, if you're sort of questioning like what should I eat, I would recommend looking at Eddie Abu's channel. He is a retired bodybuilder and also ex-NHS nurse. He's got a couple of ebooks and I read one of them, and I totally agree with what he's saying about nutrition. So it's looking at, reading the labels. He's really against all the rubbishy ingredients that supermarkets sort of throw in, especially with pre-packaged food. He's really for high protein diet, so lots of animal products, so lots of meat, eggs, and then like olive oil, nuts, fat, your healthy fats, as well as animal fats. So I'd say look into him and judge for yourself, but I agree with what he's saying, and he explains quite well how sugar affects us and our insulin levels and the sort of tiredness that comes with that. His plan isn't a million miles away from what my coach gives me, in that quite healthy and quite high protein, but it's, he talks about energy and using that food for your workouts and to get you through the day. In short, if you're thinking about considering a more healthy diet, consider food as fuel. Are you eating the right things to get you through the day? Is it slow burning energy? Like, for example, I find oats in the morning, porridge oats, that gets me through the day. I'm not getting that sugar crash. I've got enough energy to last me till lunchtime. It's really useful for like my gardening days. What we drink can affect our energy and health too. I personally don't like to drink my calories. I'd much rather eat them. Portion control and awareness. As I mentioned, I weigh my food, and when I'm tracking that in the MyFitnessPal app, it's kind of eye-opening. I used MyFitnessPal like years ago, even before I got a bodybuilding coach, and it put me off alcohol a little bit actually, because I didn't want to drink my calories, and it did sort of affect how I looked at food. So it might sort of shock or surprise you. And then also just with weighing food, even if you're not tracking it, but weighing it, sometimes it's very hard to judge just how much rice or potatoes we've got on our plate. So I do find that I can eyeball certain things, but I think with carbs, I find that difficult. So I do find weighing it really useful for portion control reasons. And then there's some like quick wins. So if you're looking to lose weight, like swapping out, your sort of cheese sauces for maybe tomato-based sauce. Weighing like cheese and oils and fats, that can be a quick win. Maybe just like reducing those sort of like cheese toppings, little things. We're all Obviously we're all different, but I find that can be really helpful. And then just a little update on me. So I've been on a mini cut for, it'll be 7 weeks tomorrow. So far I've lost 4 pounds. I had a bit of a dip and then gain again, but it's been just a really good exercise for me. I've been much more controlled, very conscious of what I'm eating. I was getting a little bit uncomfortable in my clothes, like couldn't get my jeans on, so now I fit in my jeans, which is like amazing. So I'd say I'm like almost at my maintenance weight now. This would be my normal weight, I think. I'll see what my coach says. But I just wanted to share, you know, like I'm not perfect. I eat lots of rubbish and I go through phases of I'd say like chocolate is my weak point rather than things like alcohol. It is easy to let yourself go a bit, which is what I've sort of done over the last few months. I've just sort of eaten whatever I wanted, and I've been eating better and feeling better, and I really recommend it. I love training at the gym, and even when I don't feel like it, I still go because it's one of those things, it's like I have to do it. And I've definitely seen changes in my body over the last few years just from consistently going. So if you're just getting started, like, yes, please do definitely start, do what you can, do what you're able for. You know, YouTube's got so many fitness videos for different abilities. You just have to search beginner workout or training without equipment, own body weight training, that sort of thing. And even chair-based exercises if you've got mobility issues. There's lots of suggestions out there. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you currently do. I know some people have commented in the past. I think we've got cyclists and some hikers and people that enjoy gardening as well. But please let me know, yeah, what your fitness focus is, what your health focus is, and any changes that you're thinking about making. We've got a really lovely prepper community on here, which I'm very grateful for, and thank you so much for your recent subscriptions. It's can't believe this channel at time of filming is like very close to the 1,000 mark, so that's amazing, so thank you so much. But I can see that people on here, they just encourage each other. It's really lovely. So yeah, do feel free to write down your goals and we'll try and hold you accountable, and let us know how you get on with your fitness goals as well. And if there's anything you think I've missed, just throw it down in the comments, because I really enjoy reading your suggestions. I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.